The wait is officially over. Formula One is back, but the sport as you knew it is dead. We are heading into the 2026 Australian Grand Prix, the very first race of a radical new era, and the paddock is in absolute chaos. We have massive teams facing public humiliation, a new regime taking over Red Bull, and brand new cars that are ready to bite back. I'm the Paddock Outlaw, and this is everything you actually need to know before the lights go out in Melbourne. Let's get into it. Aston Martin might literally park their cars after 2 laps in Melbourne to avoid a massive public embarrassment. And let's start with the biggest, most shocking rumor currently tearing through the paddock. Aston Martin is in deep crisis. The whispers suggest that the team is planning to do the absolute bare minimum number of laps in practice just to qualify. And in the race, they are allegedly considering a start and park scenario, doing a formation lap, maybe one racing lap, and immediately retiring to the pit. Why? Because the reliability of the AMR 26 is completely failing, and they have a massive deficit of spare parts. Adrian Newey just held an emergency unscheduled meeting at Silverstone to figure out if they can even survive a full race distance. If this information turns out to be true, it will be the most catastrophic, humiliating start to a season for a billionaire owner in modern F1 history. The 2026 regulations are going to turn Albert Park into an absolute nightmare for the driver. Albert Park is a fast, bumpy, semi-street circuit, and it is going to brutally expose the new 2026 cars. Remember, classic DRS is gone. Drivers now have to use active aero and the manual overtake mode electrical boost. Imagine hitting 330 kilometers per hour, manually deploying a massive electrical battery boost on a bumpy public road with tires that are now significantly narrower and offer way less grip. The cars are going to be sliding everywhere. Managing that 50-50 electrical and combustion power split on this high-speed layout is going to cause massive battery failures. Albert Park isn't just a racetrack, it is a historical graveyard for Formula One cars. There is a reason why Melbourne is always pure chaos. Half of this track consists of normal public roads, meaning on Friday the asphalt is dirty, green, and incredibly slippery. Add in the fact that the race starts late in the afternoon, meaning the setting Australian sun literally blinds the drivers in the heaviest braking zone. This track eats cars. We all remember Ralf Schumacher launching his Williams over the head of Rubens Barrichello at turn 1 in 2002, or the absolute red flag circus of 2023, where multiple world champions crashed into the walls and each other on the final lane. This weekend will be a war of attrition. Red Bull Racing and Racing Bulls is throwing 2 rookies into the most dangerous race of the year under a completely new regime. Forget everything you knew about Red Bull. Christian Horner is gone. Helmut Marko is gone. The man calling the shots on the pit wall now is Laurent Mekies, and Mekies is walking into a firestorm because Red Bull is fielding 2 rookies, Arvid Lindblad in Racing Bulls and Isaac Hadjar in Red Bull. Although Hadjar is no longer a rookie as he spent the entire last season as an F1 driver, the move to Red Bull changed everything. Historically, rookies get absolutely destroyed by the walls of Albert Park. Now throw these kids into the sharpest, most unpredictable 2026 cars with manual electrical boosts, and the pressure is critical. Mekies has to prove he can lead a championship team, and Lindblad and Hadjar have to prove they won't put millions of dollars of carbon fiber into the Australian barriers. 2 massive automotive billionaires are about to find out how brutal Formula One really is. This weekend marks the official debut of Audi and Cadillac. Audi has finally swallowed up the old Sauber team, and Cadillac has built an entirely new organization from the ground up, but they are debuting in the hardest regulatory era in the history of the sport. The learning curve is going to be vertical. Will their massive budget save them, or will these giant corporations spend their first weekend acting as moving chicanes for the top teams? Melbourne will show us exactly who is prepared. Oscar Piastri is fighting to win his home race, but he has to break the darkest curse in Australian motorsport. No Australian driver has ever won the Australian Grand Prix. Mark Webber suffered here. Daniel Ricciardo was cursed here. Now the entire weight of a nation is sitting squarely on the shoulders of Oscar Piastri. We know the McLaren is fast, but we also know the team has complained about the 2026 cars sliding too much. Piastri is cold as ice, but if he wants to win, he has to wrestle a slippery car around the walls of his hometown without making a single mistake. And the testing lies are over. Here is exactly how the Formula One grid will fall apart this Sunday. It is time for the Outlaw predictions. At the very top, expect a total bloodbath between Mercedes and Ferrari. They have nailed these engine regulations and they will fight for the win. McLaren will be right there breathing down their necks in the top 3. Red Bull will show raw speed, but I expect them to struggle with rookie mistakes and setup issues. The midfield is going to be a brutal war for the final points between Williams, the new Audi squad, and Haas, and then we have the bottom of the barrel. Expect Aston Martin, Cadillac, Alpine, and the Racing Bulls to be fighting for their lives just to finish the race without breaking down. Melbourne is going to be unpredictable, dangerous, and absolutely spectacular. But I want to hear from you, who is going to win the first race of 2026, and do you think Aston Martin is actually going to park their cars? Drop your predictions in the comments right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for the daily news of the paddock every single day. Leave a like, and I'll see you at the apex.